Oh, the mighty BJ. Something that might be a little bit intimidating to some of us, but probably one of the best sex acts to have mastered in your tool belt. This video is gonna be exactly what you didn't learn in sex ed. I'm gonna be giving you guys 5 different tips to amplify your BJ to its max potential. Things that you might know but need a refresher on, and then things that you haven't even heard anywhere before. Because taking full control of your partner's penis or strap can feel really empowering. But sometimes you might be wondering if your BJ technique needs a little re-up. After all, how do you give a good BJ anyways? I'm not gonna lie, it really comes down to personal preference. For many of us, getting head can be such a big turn on because the act itself can be extremely sexy, but it's also a very different experience. They get to sit back, relax, and receive, and just enjoy the visual that's happening in front of them. Plus, the visual element of watching your partner slip out of your mouth really gets a lot of people going. And not to mention, like a hand job, they can't give this to themselves. No one can replicate the BJ. Your mouth is wet and warm, just like your yoni, but your lips, your tongue, they are an irreplaceable work of art. So how exactly do we integrate that into our blowjob, making it amazing? But it's definitely not for everybody. Remember, your sexual preference is only decided by you, and no one should ever make you feel bad about it. But when you're really vibing with your partner, a BJ can really amp up that affection. Now, it might not seem as intimate as you think it is because there isn't much face-to-face contact. However, the willingness to do this adds to the intimacy. That trust adds to the intimacy. But anyways, before I take your BJ skills to the next level, I want to just talk about something quickly. So y'all know how I launched my Moody merch hoodies, right? Well, by the end of June, I will also be launching a Patreon account, which is subscription based. So if you want more in-depth content where I'm not having to jump through hoops with monetization issues, what I can and can't say, I can give you guys demos and visuals, all that good stuff, then you're definitely gonna want to keep your eyes open for my Patreon. And no, it's not just for men, ladies. There will be content for everybody. And if you want to get your first month for free, all you have to do is grab one of the Moody merch hoodies from clicking the link down below, and you will get gifted your first month of my Patreon 100% free. And 200 of you will also be entered to win a one-on-one coaching session with moi, talking about really whatever you want. So grab one of my after sex hoodies and enjoy that comfort because it's about to get so much better. All right, now let's dive into how to amplify your BJ. So what exactly should you guys know about a BJ aside from the basics? Well, here is exactly how I'm gonna take your oral game to the next level. The number one thing that you need to show up to the table with almost immediately is enthusiasm. Act like you want to be there because baby, you do want to be there, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. The biggest complaint that I hear from my clients is not actually about the BJ technique. It's about your partner's enthusiasm. There's a big difference between they are doing this for me and they want to do it. And by somebody actually showing up wanting to be there is actually one of the biggest turn-ons that you can provide. So here are a few ways that you can make your enthusiasm known. Make some eye contact. I don't mean stare at them the whole entire time, not blinking, but do take conscious breaks to switch that gaze from your partner's penis to their eyes. This is a really good time to make your eyes really wide and bat those eyelashes. The second way to show them how enthused you are is by telling them how turned on you are. You know how sometimes you get self-conscious when your partner is going down on you? They might feel the exact same way. So letting them know that this is turning you on is a really great way to drop them into their bodies and get them in the mood. Saying something like, I love the way you feel in my mouth. Simple, but highly effective. The next way to show enthusiasm is by asking them what they want. It shows that you're present in the moment and willing to do whatever they want. Pull back, turn on your seductive voice, and ask them how it feels. What do you want me to do to you, baby? Is this wet enough for you? Pay attention to their body language. The visual cues that your partner will give you when you're giving them pleasure are absolutely amazing and spot on. Now, the second tip I have for you is to bring your hands into the mix. Just because it's called oral does not mean that you can't have both of your hands involved. Think about the mouth as the thing that provides wetness, but your hands which provide tightness. If your jaw starts to feel tight or locked up, that's when you want to utilize your hands. And also, you're likely suctioning a little bit too hard. So switch it up and add some hands into the mix. You can also use your hands as an extension of your mouth. Once you're a little bit warmed up, you can take your dominant hand around the shaft and then place your mouth on. Connect your hands to your lips and press your index finger and your thumb together, making that O sign. Then try moving your hands and your lips up and down. If they're a little bit larger than average, try keeping your mouth in the same place and moving your hand. But make sure your hand is wet, because everything feels better when it's wetter. From here, you can try different techniques, which I'm gonna make a video on its own. But I'm sure you guys already know about the double hand wrist twist, so give that a whirl. The third one, definitely don't be afraid of being sloppy, but sloppy in a good way. Spit is really, really, really good. I find that most of us can agree a good oral game requires lots of lubrication. Now, you don't wanna go overboard where your hands are literally slipping and sliding off, but try to do something a little bit sexy. Spit on it. Pull back, have some drool dripping out of your mouth, and make that eye contact. Also, pro tip, it's not a bad idea to keep a little bit of water next to the bed, because sometimes your mouth just gets dry, baby, and it's totally fine. It's okay to stop the act, grab a sip of water, and then hop back into it. Now, the fourth one I want to add is actually keep your tongue loose and soft for the most part. When giving a BJ, your tongue provides that softness, that warmth, that texture that you can't find anywhere else. To maximize their pleasure, keep your tongue nice and soft when you're moving up and down. The only time I want your tongue to be hard is when you are tracing that tip. The head and the frenulum, the underside where that penis head meets the shaft, that little tiny piece of skin there, are packed with nerve endings. So expect your partner to go wild and crazy. Now, you can also use the flat portion of your tongue to lick from the bottom to the top. This is also a really great time to spit on it, honey. Now, this fifth tip I'm gonna give to you is probably something you really haven't heard before, and I'm gonna get you to make the perfect pout by saying the word purple. A common mistake that people make is too much suction, too much lip pressure. So as you suck, try to slightly make that little fish face, but pretend you're saying the word purple. This word will naturally contour your lips into the literal perfect pout. They're slightly curled, a little bit pillowy, which makes them wetter, creating that perfect suction. Now, you know I have to give a bonus tip. Have you ever tried doing it in front of the mirror? You're on your knees, they're standing, and they get to see that perfect back view. You're switching up the visuals. Think about different ways to spice up that more traditional view. This allows your partner to get different views of your beautiful body. So honey, don't be afraid to switch up those visuals. Feel on yourself, feel good in your body, get yourself turned on at the same time as turning your partner on. That's just another way to spice up that oral game. All right, babies, that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to grab your Moody merch, get that free Patreon entry, and also get entered in to win a one-on-one coaching session with moi. All right, honeys, I will see you on Thursday. Bye.